Hey YouTube, I'm back. If you are new here, my name is Rebecca. I am documenting my journey from debt to financial independence on YouTube. And today's video is going to be all about my debt, what it is, where it came from. Hello to all 4 of my subscribers. Thanks for sticking around. And much like the last video, I'm filming before I start getting ready for work. This is probably going to be a recurring theme because this is the best time for me to film, and it's real life for me. But that's one of the things that I like about the other YouTube channels that I follow. I like how genuine they are. This is my reality. Anyway, let's get into into my debt. So the first thing that I'm working on paying off right now is one of my 2 personal loans, and I've got notes down here if you see me looking down. And the balance left, I've been paying on it for a while, but the balance left on it is about $4,700, and it's at a 10.7 interest rate. And the other personal loan I have it's got about $8,800 left on it, with an 11.75 interest rate. Both of these personal loans, I'll give you a little backstory on why I took them out, but you may not can tell by looking at me now, but I used to actually be about 300 pounds, probably a little over. I quit weighing myself when I saw 295 on the scale. And to lose the 120 plus pounds of weight that I did, I elected to have a weight loss surgery done that was not covered by my insurance. So I was forced to self-pay if I was going to have it done, and not having it done was not an answer for me. So I went to Mexico to have this done, and it was a pretty penny. I can't remember honestly now because it's been 5 years ago, but the surgery, it either cost me $12,000 or $16,000 out of my pocket. I can't remember which one it was, which is terrible, but is what it is. I can't remember. And if I can figure out how, I'm learning YouTube as I go here, but if I can figure out how to insert a before picture of me, then I will do that right here. Damn, am I right? So that's where some of my personal loan balance came from. The rest of it, I've already paid down a good chunk of my personal loans, but after I had lost all of this weight, I met my now husband, and he kind of saw the aftermath of losing 120 plus pounds. And all the loose skin and everything that goes along with it. And once we had decided to get married, I'm not particularly a vain person, if you can't tell, but after being overweight my whole life, I really did want to have some of this excess skin gone and, have a nip and tuck done just to be comfortable with myself. So I elected to have some plastic surgery done. And that costed me $16,000. I remember that. It was more recent. But I ended up having an inner thigh lift, a tummy tuck, and a breast lift and augment all at the same time. So that was a pretty penny for that. That's where my personal loans have come from. Still working on paying them off. To be honest, if I could go back, I would still elect to do everything that I've done. I wouldn't change anything about it. I mean, my health is, your health is your most important asset. So anyway, moving along from there. The next debt that I'm going to pay off after those 2, I hate to even admit this, but I have a bed that I decided to buy If you have seen on TV the commercials for Sleep Number, their new fancy i10 smart bed that, you know, it's got the foot warmers, you can raise the head, you can raise the feet, it'll adjust to you automatically in your sleep, blah, blah, blah. It knows your future. Anyway, it was Sleep Number's most Mac Daddy bed that you can buy, and I am the absolute queen of justifying, rationalizing purchases. If you want to buy something, just ask me how to rationalize it for you, and I'll get it bought for you. My excuse was I'm a third shift worker and sleep is important and I need to sleep better than I have been. So I'm going to buy this almost $10,000 bed. And it's okay because there's no interest on the payments. I know. So the balance left on that is $5,800. And I am making my payments on that. I'm still going to pay it off early even though there's no interest. I just want to get it gone and forget that I did that. Honestly, if I went back, I know I love the bed. It sleeps good, don't get me wrong, but that's a purchase that I should have waited on and saved up and really thought about before I did it. It was a pretty big impulse purchase. And there's a thing called opportunity cost. You know, the fact that I bought this almost $10,000 bed means that I have to pay off this almost $10,000 bed, and it's going to take me that much longer to get my debt paid off, and it's going to take me that much longer to start investing for my future, and that's going to cause lost time and lost compound interest chances. Should have waited on that purchase. Anyway, moving on to the next debt. The fourth debt that I'm going to pay off is my student loans. I'll have to do a whole another video about my past financial mistakes because I could go into great detail about everything that I have done wrong about student loans so that hopefully someone will see this and not do the same thing. But as of right now, as of this month, the balance I have left to pay on my student loans is $27,681. That is a group of 4 student loans that I actually consolidated. Spoiler alert, one thing I did wrong. And the interest rate for it is 10.29. And the last consumer debt that I owe, that I need to pay off, is going to be my car. I talked about it very briefly in my first video, but I did buy a brand new car in September of last year, August, I can't remember. It's a 2017 Kia Niro. I also rationalized this by saying that, oh, it's a hybrid and I have an hour and 15 minute commute one way to my job. So that'll save me so much on gas. Why not take out a $28,000 loan and buy this car? Again, that is something that definitely should have waited. I do sort of regret this purchase. It does get me a lot better gas mileage than the car I had. I had a Kia Sportage. Nothing wrong at all with that car. It didn't get as good a gas mileage as I get from my Niro. But I only had 1 year left of payments on it. And if I had really buckled down, I could have probably paid that car off early and then just kept driving it. That's probably what I should have done because it would have allowed me to get all these other debts paid off a lot faster. But once again, I will rationalize and justify. I will say at least that I did sleep on this purchase for a few days, but I guess that wasn't long enough. I think maybe if I'd waited a week or two, I would have been like, no, come to your senses and just pay off the car that you have and go from there. Anyway, I do like the Niro. It's a good car and it hasn't given me any trouble so far, though my husband is convinced that it's going to, because hybrids aren't good, according to his opinion. Anyway, it saves me about half of what I was using before for gas in a month. But still, now I have another car payment. But that's the last thing I'm going to pay off. The interest rate on it is 5.44. Not a great interest rate, probably because I have, so much debt that I didn't get a good interest rate. My debt to income ratio would have been pretty tight. And the balance left on the car that I have to pay is $24,154. And then the last debt that I owe, I'm not bundling in this with my consumer debt, but it's the house. We've got a small house, 1 bedroom. I love our little house. It's perfect for me and my husband and the dogs. And I bought it for $105,000, and I have left to pay on it $99,606. And its interest rate is 4.25 fixed for 30 years. I know Dave Ramsey doesn't like the 30-year loan, and now that I've actually started tracking expenses and budgeting, I realize why now. This was a first-time home buying experience for me. I didn't know what I was doing. Thought everybody got a 30-year loan. And I only had 10% down, so I have to pay PMI. And with the 30-year mortgage, as you know, the amortization schedule is crazy. The first few years, pretty much all of your payment is going to interest. And then on top of that, I also have PMI I have to pay in my monthly payments. So it is what it is now. My priorities is going to be getting out of consumer debt first. But then after I get my consumer debts paid, I'm not sure what I should do after that. FIRE is my goal. I don't know if I should get all my consumer debts paid and then max out my 403B at work annually, and anything that's left over I can put towards the house. Or should I pay off all of my consumer debts and then focus on the house payments, maybe until I can get the PMI gone, and then go back and max out my 403B at work and open up maybe a Roth or a traditional IRA or a Vanguard account. I'm not really sure, but since that's going to be a little while down the road, that's something that I can figure out later as I learn more as I go. My net worth update. I use Mint to track my net worth, and now for some reason Mint does not calculate in the value of my car as an asset, so whatever, I just go with it. But with all the debts that I have, it does calculate, the house as an asset. My net worth is still in the negative. It's in the negative by about $28,000, so, that's just something interesting to look at, something else to track to keep me motivated to get my debt paid off faster and watch that net worth get out of the negative and then start going up into the positive. And I think that will do it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, feel free to subscribe and follow me along on my journey. Thanks, guys. Till next time.